Hi guys, welcome back. It's day 30. I cannot believe that I actually made it to 30 without skipping one day. Now, I want to know, I have tried this for 4 years, that I've been doing YouTube videos and I've done Christmas and I start out all gung ho, I'm gonna do it, and then halfway through I'm like, I can't do this. I can't keep it up. It took a pandemic to get me to actually do the 30 days. It's going to make the 12 days of Christmas seem like a cakewalk. Hopefully, we'll be out by Christmas. So, what's going to go on over the next 30 days or so that we're stuck? Well, first of all, there's no sign of us being released, or at least in Las Vegas, there's none. And I know that the president is talking about it, but I'll tell you this much, it's not happening in the near future. The numbers in the United States are just way too high to risk letting us go. Like it or not, we're stuck. So how am I going to handle the rest of the time? I told everybody the other day that I'm having some problems with my computer. It's the button where the USB port is. The inside, not the actual plug itself. The inside mechanism's burnt out on my computer, so I have to do this really messed up, long, tedious thing to get my videos into my computer. So I talked to my son-in-law. He looked at it one time and he said that, well, it's like a $30 fix and we could do that. He fixed it to the best of he could. It was like putting a Band-Aid on a bleeding artery. We knew it wasn't going to last, and it's not lasting. So uploading in the long form of doing it, which is not going to be sustainable. So he gave me a choice. He said, you can get a new computer or you can go back and we can replace this part. But he highly recommended going with the new computer. In fact, my daughter informed me that I really wasn't going to be given a choice. He was going to talk me into getting the new computer because he doesn't really feel the part is going to work in the long run. And I was like, fine with that, just do it, but do it fast. I got to do this. As of tonight, he was ordering me a new computer. All I need is the base part, the little tower. I don't need all the other things, the bells and whistles to come, because mine are perfectly good. I have 2 screens. I've got a good working sound system. I have everything else. So all I need is that one thing. And he said, no problem. He's going to replace it for me. And he's going to turn over like everything that's in my computer now, he's going to put into the new computer, which means the next couple days I have to actually pack up my old computer by deleting pictures and everything, so he's not transferring all the garbage that I have on my computer now. So I have to spend the next couple of days just deleting old things that I really do not want to save, which, believe me, there is plenty of that. So I'm going to do that for like a day or two, and then I'm going to start a new series. Now, we did our 30-day lockup. I want to do something a little bit more positive than just concentrating on how we're all stuck in the house. I decided to do a small series, and we'll go as I need to. I'm going to do a pro tips series, and I'm going to take you through A to Z, everything you need to know. And within those videos, I have some requests from people. I will be including the information in those videos that I do for everybody that's put in requests to me. So Deb O'Hare and Pat and Barbara, your videos are all coming. Okay, they're going to be, that information is going to be included in this new series. So I'm going to be changing up, like every day it's easy to recognize that it's the daily 30 day. I will be changing that up in my next video, so keep an eye out for that. This is one of the easiest pictures I've ever colored. I don't know if it's the tone of the paper or what, but it's a very, very smooth and pleasant picture for relaxing. I literally started the hair, and 5 minutes later I realized, I better stop, because I'm going to run out of space of doing a demo for people. It literally took that amount of time. If you are new, I would definitely recommend, if this is your first portrait and you want to get used to where to put your lights and your darks, this is a fantastic one to start with. So we did the face. Now we're going to work on the hair and then the background objects. Now, for what I'm going to do with the background objects is they're duplicates. There's a lily pad, a lily pad, a lily pad, and a lily pad. I'm going to demo one and show you the rest. These flowers are all the same, so I'm going to demo one, and then the fish are the same. So I'm going to do behind the scenes this. I'll demo this, and this. And this way, you'll get an idea of what to do, and you just repeat and rinse. It's that easy. Let's start with the hair colors. I love this combination. If you've got the CMW workbook, please put this combination in your palette. It's for light hair. And we're going to go with Seashell, Goldenrod, Sepia, White, and Canary Yellow. Again, Seashell, Goldenrod, Sepia, White, and Canary Yellow. Add that in with the gray of the paper, and you really got your tones where they're supposed to be. If you were going to do this as a linear picture and use this as your combination, you could still use this as the combination. These are great pencils, but you'll have to do a little bit more work. On here, she did a lot of the highlighting where the highlighting should go. And I was doing it, and then I realized I didn't leave myself much room. You can see here where she left the highlight, and that's going to be where you put your Canary Yellow. The highlight color is your Canary Yellow and your white. Your mid-tone is your Seashell, and that will, because of the color that it is, that beigey color, it's going to push everything into the background. So we've got the brightness of the yellow, we have it being pushed into the background, and the goldenrod, it really, the mid-tone colors would be the goldenrod and the seashell. And then as your dark color, I'm going to be using the sepia. And I know, oh, it's a dark color, why are you putting it on blonde hair? Well, everything that goes into the shade is dark. And if you look and watch me on this, this is all highlight over here. If I just put in a couple of strokes of the sepia, it's going to break the hair up, the clumps, and make it look like strands that are going deep into the hair. This is a great combination, and it will work. While I'm sitting here coloring the hair, I'm going to tell you a story, and this one's funny. I'm not exactly the best driver in the world, and I will tell you this. I've never had a ticket. I've never been in an accident, knock on wood. But that's not a reflection on my driving skills. It's more like I'm Mrs. Magoo. And if anybody knows who Mr. Magoo was, you'll know that that is like me. I will do anything to avoid driving. But so that's why I'm just saying I've never had a ticket because I drive like you can walk faster than I drive. Back when I was about early 30s, maybe mid 30s, reaching mid 30s, I was doing the animal rescue. And part of what I did was worked very closely with the SPCA. I was like their go-to reptile person in my county. Well, there was this horrible, horrible zoo on Long Island. It was the most abusive place and disgusting place you've ever seen in your life. And the SPCA wanted this place shut down in the worst way. And believe me, I have a million stories that said, yeah, they needed to go. They called me in to go with them. So I wasn't there working as an SPCA agent. I was their expert that was going into the zoo to examine some of the animals and bear witness to the fact that this place was horrible. Well, part of the agreement at the end of the day, and I don't know how this happened, but I'll tell you it was life-changing for the good. I had to accept a position there as the rehabber. Now, I was supposed to go and report back to the SPCA that the place was getting medical attention for the animals, and I got paid for it. So I did that. Well, it was supposed to be for like a month or two, and it turned into 2 years. And during that time, I integrated myself as part of my job into the daily running of the place. And part of the responsibilities was public outreach. Basically, what I did is, and other people, everybody did it. We would fight, your turn, your turn. It was no big deal. We used to perform shows, and those shows would be animal husbandry, showing off the animals, telling, like whenever you go into a zoo and they have that person standing up on stage and talking about the animals, well, that's what I did as part of my job. Well, they had outreach. There was in-house and outreach. And when you did outreach, you actually went to a place. It could be a school, it could be a birthday party. And I don't remember what I was doing that day, but I was doing an outreach. And at the end of the day, it was, dinner time or whatever. I was done for the day. I packed up the animals from wherever I was, and I put them in my car. Well, I know every one of these animals like the back of my hand. They were specifically taken out of the zoo because they had really great personalities. There was this one animal called an Argentinian Tegu, and it was like, it might as well have been a puppy. It was the sweetest little lizard. I mean, it even puts Puff to shame. Well, it's a large lizard. It's not like Mina size. So it was a large animal, and for whatever reason, when I was putting him into the car, he didn't want to go into his cage, and he was swishing his tail around and putting his arms out. He did not want to get into the carrier. So I was like, okay, no big deal. I'll just stick him in the car next to me in the seat. Now, I know this animal. He didn't go nowhere. He's just like non-animated. He might as well have been a stuffed animal. He'll just sit there. So I'm driving down the road, and the Tegu decided a better place to sit would be on my head. There's no laws against it. It's not the smartest thing to be doing, but no laws against it. I'm driving home, and then I see siren and the red flashing light. So I pulled over to the side of the road. I was close to my house. Pulled over to the side of the road, and the cop comes over to my car, and I was like, yes, what did I do? Because I knew I wasn't driving fast, and I wasn't driving recklessly. He's like, you didn't do anything, but nobody's going to believe me when I tell them this. Can I take a picture? And it took me a second it dawned on me, well, oh, the lizard that's on my head. Yeah. So I let him take a picture. It was no big deal. I had been having pictures taken all day long. And he asked me if I would wait there for a minute. He was nice. It was a young cop. He was very nice. He asked if he called his buddy on his radio to come over and check this thing out. So I was like, yeah, whatever. I was being, in a good mood. It's not every day that you get pulled over by a cop to take a picture. And I waited a few minutes, and another cop pulled up. Well, that cop was like, oh my God. And they were like asking me questions, and, we were getting into a conversation. And the next thing I knew, 2 more cops, I guess, saw them on the side of the road with me, and they stopped. So now I have all these cops' cars. There's lights are blazing all over the place, and it's like rush hour. And I said, well, would you like to see the other animals? And they were like, yeah. And I put the Tegu in my car, and I go out into the back of my van, and I take out a snake, I take out a tortoise, I take out, one at a time. I start doing an animal show on the side of the road for all these cops that are now stopped. It wasn't until about, I would say, 20 minutes later that I even looked up. And I don't even think the cops even noticed, but the traffic had backed up. Everybody was looking at me. We stopped traffic for like miles. Then one of the cops was like, I think we better stop. So I get home, and I drive up into my driveway, and I see a bunch of my neighbors standing out in the street. And when I got out of the car, they approached me. Now, I just want to tell you that the neighbors did not appreciate animal rescue. And they were like, you finally got arrested. We knew nothing good was going to come from this. Oy vey. And that was the only time I've been stopped by a cop driving. So that was my story for today, and I'm going to stop the picture right now here because I have another lesson to do once I'm done with all the coloring on this page. I want to save that for its own video. So I will see you guys in 1 or 2 days tops. Once I get my computer cleared out and we can get the other computer in. I love you guys. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay in. Take care. Bye-bye.